Hey, what's going on guys? In this video, how to avoid hitting plateaus as a natural bodybuilder, alright? We often hear that if you're natural, you'll just hit a plateau, stop progressing unless you jump on PEDs, but it's completely false, alright? I've been training for over 13 years naturally, and I'm still amazed about how much I can progress year over year, alright? Yes, it slows down, but doesn't mean that it has to stop. And if you've been training for years, you're a natural bodybuilder, but you feel like you're hitting a little bit of a plateau, well, I got some tips for you that will help you get back on track of progress, alright? Number one, cycle your workouts. So if you're someone like me that does a lot of hypertrophy bodybuilding style workout, time under tension, high reps, mind muscle connection, short rest periods, alright, that's how I train a lot of circuits, supersets, drop set. Well, cycle some strength workout, and while you're pushing the weight a bit more, you're taking more rest, you're doing less reps. Let's say you will do more sets of 5, more heavier weights, 2 to 3 minutes rest in between just to get more strength in, less superset, alright? So change it up a bit, alright? I would cycle, let's say 2-3 weeks of strength workout every 3 months. So that would be a little rule of thumb for me. Every 3 months of bodybuilding style, I will do 2-3 weeks of strength training. And now it could be training like a power lifter where you're doing a bench day, a squat day, or a deadlift day. But for me, what I do is I'd keep my same split, so the bro split, but I would focus on one big compound movement a day where I would do 4, 5, 6, 7 sets sometimes of heavy weights, alright? And it could go for sets of 5, even sometimes sets of 3, even sometimes I might try sets of 2 or PRs, alright? Now you gotta note something, that when you're cycling your strength training, you should not be in a deficit. You don't want to go there drained in a caloric deficit, barely eating any carbs. You'll just get injured, alright? Make sure that you're either in a maintenance, but ideally in a surplus, a slight surplus, to give you also that energy to push more weight, alright? Those 2-3 weeks are important. It's not just to change things up, but it's also to get your strength up, alright? Which will help you once you go back on your hypertrophy style training, and your weight, you're stronger, and stronger will mean bigger muscles, alright? So cycling your training is super important, and I feel like it helped me so much. Alright, sometimes I don't feel like doing it because I'm like, I get comfortable in what I'm doing, but I'm like, you know what, it's time to change things up. I'm not seeing much results. Boom, let's go. Now, number 2 is make sure your diet is optimal. Alright, and what I mean by optimal is not just getting enough protein and carbs in there and hitting your calories and macros for the days, no, but going deeper, the micronutrients, the vitamins and minerals, alright, getting your omega-3s, for example, from salmon or sardines, getting your B12s from red meat, getting your choline, your biotin, your vitamin K, alright, from egg yolk, and you can get them from other sources, getting for your calcium, your probiotics from Greek yogurt, alright, where are you getting all your vitamins and minerals from? It's super important. Don't just look at things like, okay, I have 30 grams of carbs, I'm okay, but also think about your vitamins and minerals. And most people don't meet their vitamins and minerals needs, alright? I had a friend that barely took any salmon, alright? He barely eats salmon and he doesn't take omega-3 pills, so I'm like, well, this is something your body needs, alright? It's a lot, there's a lot of essential stuff that our body needs, and if we don't supplement with them or eat sources, well, our body will be deficient in them. And trust me, you feel it, alright? You feel weaker, you might feel dizziness, you might feel like you're not at your top of your game, but it's because you're missing a vitamin and mineral. He started taking omega-3s or eating salmon, boom, now he feels like he's taking steroids, but he just added one little thing, alright? So make sure that you go deeper, take a deeper look. It's not just about taking protein shakes and protein bars. It's not the same as eating a real steak, alright? Eating eggs, making sure that you're eating a real complete meal. For example, for me, when I eat red meat, I just feel stronger, guys, alright? I know there's this big debate about pro-red meat, bad red meat. Well, red meat is just so much more nutritious than white meat like chicken, alright? You got your B12, your zinc, your iron. It's rich. Alright, it's rich, it makes me feel strong and it makes me feel good. I'm not talking about red meat you get from Burger King or McDonald's, but a nice quality steak or ground beef that you have at home, or any red meat that you can cook at home, alright, a quality. Alright, so that's it. Take a deeper look at your diet, guys. Don't just focus on the proteins and minerals, proteins and carbs and getting protein bars all day. A protein bar, it's okay, but it's not what's gonna make you the strongest version of yourself. All right. Number 3, take a deep look at your recovery. All right. A lot of people are sleeping 4 or 5 hours and expecting to keep making gains. Well, you know what? At a certain point, your body will just kind of fight back, and when your body fight back, your body wins. When you're just sleeping 4 hours a day but training 6 days a week, 2 hours in the gym, well, you're stressing your body. Your cortisol levels are up, and it's just counterproductive. All right, you gotta recover, you gotta recuperate, you gotta make sure you're growing, and it's just like charging your phone. So I don't want to talk too much about this point because it's obvious. Recovery. All right. Moving on, number 4, mini cuts or mini bulks. All right, if you're someone that is, let's say, in a bulk, all right, what's happening in the bulk? Let's say you've been bulking for 2 months, you're in a surplus constantly, your body now starts getting used to that extra calories. All right, you become what we call insulin resistant. What means that your body, basically when you're eating carbs, your body will release insulin to go take those sugars from your bloodstream and send it to your muscles. All right, but what happens is that you keep eating in a surplus. Your body keeps sending that insulin. Boom, go take those nutrients, send them to the muscles. Take the nutrients, send them to the muscles, because you're always in a surplus. But at a certain point, your muscles become so full. All right, so now your body is like telling the insulin, the pancreas, to release that insulin to go get those nutrients, and boom, send them to your muscles. But what happens is that you become more and more resistant, because the muscles are full, the muscles don't need more nutrients, all right, and your body just doesn't want to keep releasing the insulin. So now you kind of your body doesn't absorb the nutrients. Let's just bring it simply, your muscles don't absorb the nutrients as much. All right, let me give you a sponge. Give me a second, let me show you a very good example. So I have a sponge right here. All right, if the sponge is wet, all right, if the sponge is super wet, I will put some water in there. It's not gonna absorb the water because it's already super wet. But this one is very dry, all right, and that's how your muscles are on a cut. The wet version is how your muscles are on a bulk. Let's say you've been bulking for 2-3 months. Now your muscles are not absorbing the nutrients anymore. You're just eating more and getting fatter and fatter. All right. So that is why doing a mini cut, lowering your carbs, lowering your calories, your body will start craving again. Your muscles will start craving again those nutrients. You start becoming what we call insulin sensitive. All right, so now boom, you give your body 1 banana or a bit more calories, and boom, the insulin just jumps right there, takes it and send it to your muscles. Your muscles are opening the door and absorbing it so well, and you feel it right away. All right, you're like, whoa. Have you seen when you're on a cut and you eat 1 banana and you're in a crazy deficit? You eat 1 tablespoon of honey or rice or banana because it's fast digesting carbs, and you'll feel it right away. Wow. But do that on a surplus when you've been force feeding for meal after meal. You'll eat a banana, you'll barely feel it, all right? You might feel a little itch in your stomach, and that's pretty much it, all right? You won't feel anything in your muscles because they're already full capacity, all right? The calories you're eating more and more are just basically gonna be stored as fat, all right? You're just getting fatter and not stronger anymore anyways. So, you wanna do a mini cut, all right? You want to do a mini cut, lower those calories, let your body crave again, let your muscles crave again, and then once you give it back to them, they will just absorb it again. That's how the body works. You give it something, you cut it for a while, and you give it back, and it's gonna absorb it so well, as opposed to keep feeding it. All right? They did a test giving people, let's say, feeding them in a UV protein for the whole day, hour after hour, minute after minute, or 4 hours, feeding them protein, stop for 4 hours, feeding them protein, stop for 4 hours. And the ones where they were fed and stop and fed and stop were absorbing the proteins a lot better. All right, and it goes for everything. All right, not just for the proteins. Your body reacts better when you give it shots like that. All right, you don't want to keep feeding it kind of like in a UV shot. All right, so I'm so tired, guys. Trust me, it's 11 p.m. I might be saying a lot of things, but I want to go through with that video. So, mini cuts or mini bulks, super important. If you're cutting, go for a mini bulk, all right? Up your calories a little bit. Let your body absorb all those calories. Feed up those muscles of glycogen. And trust me, once you go back on that cut, it's just going to help you go at a faster rate, Same thing with when you're bulking, go on a little cut. So when you go back on a bulk, boom, it's gonna go ahead and faster rate. So honestly, I'm super tired. That's it for this video, guys. I'm gonna go hit the bed. Hopefully you like it. I'll see you guys soon. Ciao. Don't forget to subscribe or like or comment, because I forced myself to do this one. What time is it? 11. Ooh.